Hi, Lisa Ann Walter, and here we are talking about week 3 of Dance Your Ass Off, pole dancing week. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but this was one of my favorite weeks. Um, it's just such a great idea to show people at all different sizes really celebrating their adventures ismness, their beauty, their sexiness. It's something that we don't allow people of size to show that often. It's part of the sizeism. For those of you who have been reading on the website and listening to these vlogs, I have a real problem with the prejudice that exists that only allows big people to be jolly or nurturing. You know, people all shapes and sizes are owning themselves and celebrating themselves, and that's what this show is about. And I thought it was going to be a little bit harder for some of our contestants to find that side of themselves. And I was happily surprised by people like Shayla coming right out of the box, thrilling everybody, just being so delicious and snacky. And I mean, she's always gorgeous. I love the performance. She was fantastic. Therese, I don't think has ever had a day where she didn't feel sexy. I think men must follow her down the street, seriously. She's full of life and she's absolutely beautiful, and she showed it here. Miles, he has a fun attitude about it, but what I love about him, he's professional. He takes the food issue so seriously. He always tries his hardest. And in this challenge, he also had kind of the song he was dancing to was sort of fun, sort of tongue-in-cheek. I mean, whipping off the clothes, opening the shirt with the Apollo Creed shorts, just fun. Alicia also has a fun flirtiness to her sexy side. I think that she is a little coy. It's a little more, I mean, she's young, so it makes sense. But it's very cute and it suits her. Ruben has a different side to what makes him appealing, attractive, and sexy. His performance was so on another level, I think, than any of the other performances we saw, because it involved an element of a story, which in all great dance performances, there's a side to it that feels different, looks different, makes you think. At the time, what it brought to my mind, and it's so apropos in these weeks, was Michael Jackson's Thriller. It had sort of a darkness to it, a little bit of an edginess, almost, makes you sort of, drop back for a second. But I mean, if anybody remembers how they felt when that first came out, it was so new, it was so awesome. And Ruben's performance was very thought-provoking. It was on a whole nother level for me. And I thought he looked great too, and the dance, the choreography suited it and was great. So I was very impressed. Tara, to see her letting her naughty mommy side come out, I remember at the time I was like, you ought to get one of those fireman poles for the house, I think she's worried that the kids were going to see this episode. I wonder if she let them watch. But I just say that you tell the kids, mommy's a volunteer fireman and you have to practice. Why not? I think it's great. I'm thinking about getting one for the house. But I loved her. I loved her performance. And of course, the one that makes me cry was Pinky, who just took my note from last week about being more feminine and was awesome. I mean, to me, it was one of the top performances of the night. I so owned that whole Moulin Rouge character and doing, very flamenco hands and small isolated movements that were so effective. She was just delicious in performance and felt herself being sexy. And I absolutely saw that. And I just am so proud of Mara for taking the challenge on and kissing the pole. Hello. That's what you do with your enemy. You make friends. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. She actually kissed the pole. She's incredibly talented. There were a couple of our contestants who were a little more challenged in that area. I would say, most notably, Carla. I think she's, I know because I've lived it, is used to making the joke first before anybody else gets a chance. she likes to sort of poke fun at herself, and I know she feels like she has to be a certain person before she's gonna find love or maybe deserves that great guy. No, Carla. A great guy will have to deserve you. You just have to believe in yourself. And there's, to me, the thing that was that maybe she came a little bit shorter on than the other contestants tonight was letting herself be just fully herself, just being exploring and blasting out the sexy side. And instead she feels more comfortable being the funny girl. But you know what, to be fair, I felt that for many years, and I sort of always made a joke of being, hey, I'm sexy and ooh, I've got boobs. And you know what, after a while you just really own that, yeah, you know what, you are sexy. I certainly hope she takes that with her. Wonderful girl, lot to offer. And Brandon also, I thought, had he's so adorable, and he gives 100%, but the performance tonight was more, it just was more sort of peppy, and I didn't feel like that was him being sexy Brandon. I don't know if he knows what that is yet. I have to be honest. I think that's something that he's coming into too. And I mean, he is. He's adorable. I know ladies love Brandon. All the ladies love Brandon. It was a great night. I thought it was a great competition tonight, a great night of television. I'm so proud of all of our contestants, and I can't wait for next week. Hope you guys had fun too.